Let's do it.
Just real quick, excited about Saturday. I want to invite everybody in Lubbock to come check us out. We need a packed house there at Lowry. It's going to be a really cool deal, just from the standpoint of the stadium, and hopefully we can have enough people there that really make a difference to the crowd. It'll be good for our young guys, just from the standpoint of them getting the feel of playing in front of people more and more, and help them progress. Really happy right now where we're at. We're going to have a Fast Friday on Thursday. That will be practice number 14, and then practice number 15 will be the spring game. Feel good where we're at. So with that, take any questions.
Coach, with the portal reopening, what are some positions you maybe like to add a piece or two?
Man, we're really, even with the portal not opening, I look at my roster every single day. Literally the first thing I do whenever I come in, I sit down and grab a cup of coffee and I open up my spreadsheet. Really trying to, as far as even the depth chart of trying to create competition. I think a lot of that's going to depend on Saturday, exactly what, if anything, we'll do. I feel good, man. I feel good like if it's one of those deals, our starting 11 and have really good depth at receiver, have good depth at running back. On defense, for sure, our starting 11, we have some good depth in some places, and then we're going to play some really young guys. And so we'll sit down after Saturday and see. It's going to definitely be, if it is anything, and I can't think off the top of my head when I say this, it's going to be a need. There's not going to be anybody that pops up that we're like, oh my gosh, this guy, because we have some, as Coach Tang said, I saw him after he was playing, we got some dudes. To win games, you got to have dudes, and we have some dudes.
So who are some of the younger players that have made an immediate impact that you're going to be glad to see them get the effort and the reps on Saturday?
Yeah, that's a really good question. BJ Jordan, really excited about him. I don't see him right now. If you told me we were playing game one, I would say he's going to play a bunch, and probably on all special teams, and he'll back CJ up. We try to play a bunch of people on defense, so he's been really, really impressive. I'm excited about him. And then the young linebackers, guys that were special teams guys last year, like a Ben Roberts, has had a great spring, so I'm excited about him. Offensively, there's some young players doing some great things, but we're really old on that side of the ball, and so I wouldn't say that there's like a young guy that's going to step in and play a bunch on offense. But BJ Jordan's the guy, physically, number one, his body, he's almost 210 pounds right now. He's backing up CJ Baskerville, and feel really good about BJ.
Coach, I know you all want to get back out at the Jones, obviously, but knowing your ties to high school sports in Texas, what's it mean to play the spring game in a place like Lowry?
That's going to be really cool. I've seen it. I've seen games there and everything, but I've never got the opportunity to play there in my career, so it's going to be a lot of fun. That's kind of the roots of everything that we do. We've got so many high school coaches on our staff, so it's exciting, and we got a lot of good things planned, pregame wise and stuff like that. So I think it should be good for the fans, just being at the stadium and everything that's going to be going on. I told the guys, the last thing I told them was, we're going to be pretty base, right? We're going to be pretty base, but it's the first chance for everybody to see the 2023 Red Raiders, and what we want to do is we want to be the brand. We want to be really tough out there. We want to hit each other and be physical, and we want to compete.
Are you going good on good any or some one-on-twos too?
No, I don't believe in the one-on-twos. We're going to go good on good. So one side I have the first offense. Just like all spring, both quarterbacks will be with that group, and both quarterbacks will be with their twos. So ones on ones, and then twos on twos. We still want to. We treat this as a practice, and we still want to get something out of it. And I see guys go ones versus twos, and I don't know if that's trying to make you feel better or what, but we want to feel better by getting after each other, and whichever group of our guys are the best, and that's who's going to win it.
Coach, do you have a list of who may not suit up on Saturday?
Yeah, we're going to try to get that. We'll get that to y'all Thursday or Friday. We'll have it. You'll have it a day before the game. We're going to sit down and talk to Mike, and we're getting some guys back. We got a couple guys back today, and then kind of guys that haven't gone their spring, that they won't be back. But we're gonna have a list for you guys.
Coach, going back to Don's question, I guess what's the format for the spring game?
It'll be like so the first half is going to be running clock minus the last 2 minutes. We'll play it like a regular game. And then the plan in the third quarter is to go red zone lockout. So put the ball at the 20 and play to 18. That's what we do. We just got through doing it. It's really competitive. And then then take it that'll be like the third quarter. And then the fourth quarter, get a lot of the young guys in, have a running clock, and get all the threes and fours in. That's kind of like right there, we sent in some of the old guys to get a stretch and some rehab and let the young guys really get after each other. That last period was a live period that the offense won.
You said put the ball at the 20 and play to 18.
Yeah, so our red zone lockout, what we do is it's ones. So ones goes against each other. So if you score a touchdown, you get 6. If you have a fourth down stop or a turnover, the defense gets 6. If the defense makes the offense kick a field goal, the offense gets 3, the defense gets 4. So the 2s that come out, 1s that come out, 2s that come out, and it's first one to 18.
Coach, since we're getting the quarterbacks right after you, what's it been like, I guess, this offseason with Tyler and Behren? Probably not as heated as a competition as it was last year, but especially after the year that both the individuals had, what's it been like bringing them in, and how have you seen them maybe compete and maybe understand the role they might have this year?
Man, I really, it's crazy. I think it's even more heated than last year because 2 things. One, Tyler had such a great finish of the year. He has so much confidence, and he feels great. He's like 230 pounds, 232. And then last year in the spring, I don't know if Behren truly believed, because he hadn't done it for a full game or multiple games, that he was ready. You know, he walked in today to our strength staff and patted Lance on the butt and said, 217, big boy. So he's 217 pounds right now. He was like 203 in the bowl game, and he has a lot of swagger. You know, he believes that he could be the guy. And so it's been I couldn't ask for anything more when it comes out of that room in this spring game, because, I mean, this spring practice, because both of them, I mean, I really feel that we have 2 NFL quarterbacks. I think that they both have the ability and will, health-wise, get to play on Sundays, and so it's really good to have those guys. And not only that, because there's some other teams that have that, but our guys have won games. You know, it's just not the potential of maybe a 5-star or a guy that, is really highly recruited. Both of our guys have won games, and so excited about both of those guys.
Are you going to say one's number 1?
We will. I think we'll do it. You know, we'll probably release that in June. Might do it right after the game, but probably being able to. Our exit meetings are Monday and Tuesday, and so we want to be able to sit down with those guys. Unless I told them going into the game, I don't want anybody to know until we get to sit down with them. But man, I feel good about them.
With the spring game, a number of Lettermen return to see the progress. What does that say when you've got the support of the Lettermen and past Red Raiders coming to see what the new brand is?
Man, it's what it's all about. You know, we got our golf tournament on Friday. It's not going to be as windy as it was last year. I felt for those guys because it was really windy for them playing, but they still played and had a blast and reminisced on a lot of good times that they had as Lettermen. But it means a lot to us, not only, I really believe from here anything's possible when we talk about that. And you look at what our Lettermen have done, not only just in general in football, but like what they've done in life and how successful they are, and they breathe a lot of confidence into our players, and man, they're great to be around our guys. Man, our guys really like it, and I know they love it.
Well,
time for about 2 or 3 more.
Speaking of the it's possible, with the draft coming up and Tyree rising and some draft boards hitting up to as high as number 2, what does that say for the players that you have on this team that, look, if you put in the work, it's possible?
Yeah, I think, I think that was one reason that Steve Linton came here. I know that the level that Miles Cole is playing at right now, he believes that because he saw what, Tyree did at that position. I think everybody saw, everybody at the first year was who's Isaac Smith, and Isaac Smith at the end of the year was playing as good as anybody. And so I think it says a lot about Coach IU and the way he develops guys. I think it says a lot about the scheme of Coach DeRuiter, and then I think it says a lot about our culture, because the one thing whenever I talk to NFL scouts, they talk about how hard our guys play, and especially how hard Tyree played. So I think that's a big deal. It's huge. It's huge for us. It's going to be great for Red Raiders to have a guy go in the first round, and especially a guy that's really proud to wear the red and black.
Last Friday or Saturday, you had the coaches clinic. I guess you were in your element.
Oh, man.
Good story from there.
Yeah, it was awesome, man. We had probably 70 more than we had our first year. It's really growing. It was awesome. Our guys like Joe D, who's one of our big, boosters. Everybody knows Joe D from Levelland. What he did. I mean, this is the second year that he brought his crew in and cooked for the coaches. But I think the best, I got so many compliments on the West Texas legends. You got Coach Parchman coming out here and telling stories. Mark Ball, Steve Warren, they're out here talking, and the coaches were like, man, I learned so much just from that hour of them and their panels. So that was really a lot of fun.
Has Ray Shough been up to Colorado yet? Got any update on him?
Flying out tomorrow. Yep, flying out tomorrow and feel good. Doc feels good about what they're going to do, and we expect him to be ready to go for camp and ready for game one.
When you're doing those coaches clinics and bringing in a lot of maybe young Texas high school coaches, is there a favorite quality that you see in a lot of them that maybe they're asking you when they look at the success that you've had?
Well, I have a lot of respect for any guys that spend a Friday and Saturday trying to learn football. There's so much going on in the spring, whether it's a baseball coach and that's his second sport, or track, and everybody got through with the district track meets, but they're so busy and they have so much going on. So I have a lot of respect for coaches that take the time and want to go to clinics and sit down and learn, and we had a really good group.
All right.
Tyler, how's your offseason been? How have you developed? We've all heard about you just in that time facility. Just how have you developed over the offseason?
I feel more than 100%. I think this is the first time in my career where I've been in the same offense 2 years in a row. So it's been kind of showing itself, and I've been doing everything I can to keep mastering it. And just the connection we have with the wide receivers, the O-line, it's kind of next level right now, and we're just trying to keep getting better each day. And it's been a lot of fun. I got to say, it's my 6th year, and I haven't had as much fun as I had in my whole career. So.
Coach mentioned that this whole kind of spring has even been maybe even to a degree a little bit more competitive than it was last year. What's it been like with you and Behren and kind of getting ready for this upcoming year and your last year?
Yeah, I think it's just like I was saying before, that we've all been in this offense, so that standard is even higher for everybody. So we got a lot of expectations, especially coming this next year with a lot of guys coming back, people transferring in. So the standard's not just the Texas Bowl. We want to win the Big 12 championship. So that comes. We bring that to practice, bring that to meetings and walkthroughs every single day. So. It's been a lot of fun competing, and it's been showing out in the field.
Is there a countdown on your calendar for a certain second game of the year?
Yeah, no, they're definitely. We'll have a bunch of people coming out. Obviously, we got Wyoming first, but it's definitely things working out. Shape out the way they're supposed to. I was obviously planning on hopefully coming here 1 year, 2 years ago, and things. Everything happens for a reason. It's gonna be a lot of fun. So, eventually playing there.
So with that, the expectations of being one and done, and instead two, what have you gained and what have you learned this additional year that has made you a better quarterback under Kit?
Just more experience, more time in the film room, learning defenses. As far as my knowledge of coverage is just and what they're trying to do defensively wise, I think it's just increased each year. You just get more time under center, and also just developing with the guys on the team. The more time you have with them, the more fun you're going to have, the more connection, the more chemistry. I think that was part of the reason, coming back after that injury, 8 weeks of not throwing with them, there's still some, maybe a lapse of chemistry that we're fully back and healthy now, that we're just kind of firing on all cylinders.
So how does it feel to have an offensive line that is filled with depth and filled with the ability of protecting you?
I think that's really been the biggest difference this spring as far as the depth and experience that we have from the 1s and 2s, even a little bit of the 3s as well. So, Rusty and Cole are difference makers. They come in with 40-plus starts, a lot of experience. They're veteran guys, and they're commanding the huddle, commanding the O-line. And then Monroe and Caleb playing a significant amount of time, and then Denny moving to guards. I think the first 10 practices, I don't remember being sacked or touched much often at all. So, our defense is doing a really good job of mixing things up, and they got some dudes over there as well, so they're giving them a tough time. But it's been night and day as far as what they're doing.
Obviously, everybody up on the line's important, but especially a guy like Rusty, who's snapped to now NFL quarterbacks. What's been the big difference you've seen with having a center like that?
Yeah, I think just he's got a really good motor. He gets up on the ball in tempo. He understands what we're trying to do. He's really cerebral. We're often on the same page as far as we call it protection, but he's going to switch it before I'm even going to switch it, just because what we're trying to get done. I'm obviously checking plays a lot, and he does a really good job of understanding what I'm trying to get done and really going fast. So his brain works at a different level, and then obviously he's got the physical capabilities, and that's really what you want in the center.
Talk about the development of the receiver room. I guess, what are you seeing out of those guys?
Just experience, savvy. We got some guys banged up right now, so we've kind of been thin lately these past couple practices. But JB coming back is really huge for us. Lowett coming back, he was banged up a little bit, but he's full speed now. It's going to be good to have X and Brady back. In the fall. Miles is just he's a playmaker. You can always count on him to get open. Excuse me. And then really just the depth, like I was saying before. The beginning of spring, it was like, man, we throw anybody out there, we're going to get open. Obviously things happen in spring. There's going to be some guys, tweak something, and we're trying to keep guys healthy. But it's just we have so much depth and guys that can make plays.
What have you seen from Dre McCray so far this spring?
Dre, he's got speed. He's really coming along. I think the first couple practices, it's a lot. You're learning the whole brand new offense, whole new signals. He's coming along really well. He's going to be a really good addition for us. He can play inside or out.
Tyler, personally for you, what do you feel this year means to you, considering all the adversity you had from last year, and obviously trying to prove, if you will, the people wrong that you are, not injury prone, if you will?
Yeah, I think for me, it's just a closing of what I can really put everything together and show it on tape of what I know I'm capable of. I think we're due for a really good season. And I know personally I'm doing everything I can to make that happen. Things happen that really sometimes are out of my control, but it's been really a really mental lesson for me to just understand how to deal with that adversity and take it into the next chapter.
Tyler, can you talk about how you've seen Behren mature? I know you've talked about how competing with him has made you a better quarterback. How have you seen him mature, I guess, middle of last season to what you see now?
Yeah, like I was saying before, he pushes me to be better every single day. What he can do with his arm, I think the biggest thing that he's grown with is as far as his knowledge of the game and his mental maturity to understand what we're trying to do. I just remember from when I first got here to now, he's done a great job as far as learning defenses and operating the offense. So it's been really fun, and we kind of pull things off of each other and plays that we like. So it's definitely been. This whole spring has been a blast. It kind of flew by. Nothing for me, Don?
Oh, getting called out by.
We're waiting. We're going around the carousel.
Most everybody jumped in and asked questions.
I got some good questions.
What's new with you?
I got a dog. I feel like an old man now. I've been raising a dog. I really don't have much classes, so.
What kind of dog?
A golden retriever. It's pretty tough.
Those are the best.
They're awesome. So I've been dealing with her and pretty much football, so it's been a lot of fun.
How did you come into the golden retriever? Did you look specifically for a golden retriever?
Yeah, I had one growing up, and that was what me and my fiance really wanted. So we did it. I knew it was gonna be off season, so I'd have more time when I was in the facility to deal with her. So yeah, that's been a whole process in the winter, but she's good now.
What's the dog's name?
Murphy.
Oh.
Well, I might ask you. You carried the ball 20 times in the bowl game and had a lot of success doing it. Have you asked Kitley to mix in some more QB run?
Nah, spring is hard because we're not live, so we work on different stuff. But and as far as that, that we were just doing what we could to win the game. Really, that was just what they showed on defense, and what I feel like I'm capable of doing. We don't want to live in that world, but obviously it's something that we can do because whatever it's going to take. But it was fun for sure. Definitely felt it after the last plane ride going home, but it was worth it.
All right. Behren, we didn't really see you a whole lot your freshman year, and then last year they just kind of threw you in the fire, I guess. What did that game in Stillwater tell you about yourself as a player?
Yeah, going in that week, knowing that you'll be the guy, so it took a lot of preparation from, not just the coaches, but my teammates too, any type of routes, anything we had going on that game plan, it was just kind of clicking, and then it was kind of week by week, one step at a time. And I feel like that's what we did throughout the week, and we had a good game plan. We just came up short.
Coach mentioned that you went up from about 203 to 217. Why is that a comfortable weight for you? And I guess what's been working well for you at that weight?
Yeah, just in this offense, just gaining that weight, it's going to make me more comfortable in the pocket. Taking more hits, more blows. But rather than that, my speed's still the same. Coach Lance does a great job with us, and Hannah, our nutritionist, does a great job with my weight too. So, playing at 217, hopefully 225 by season, it'll be a comfortable weight for me.
Tyler just mentioned how much he likes competing with you. Coach McGuire said that it seems like even this competition was even a little more heated than it was last year. What's it been like for you? And I guess where's that, for lack of a better word, confidence in yourself come from?
Yeah, just coming from playing a little bit last year and the knowledge of the game. Going into the spring, we knew it was going to be a good competition. Learning from Tyler is great. He's an awesome role model that I can, for sure, idol on the field and off the field. He does some great things. Just day by day, it's just everyday competition. You come in and the thing you did bad last practice, you're going to correct that, and it's just kind of something that we bounce back and forth with it, every single day, and it's really fun to compete with him.
What have you added to your arsenal, and what are you still trying to work on through till the fall?
Yeah, I think the big thing was just IDing defenses and attacking certain situations, because Coach Kitley gives the keys to us, and so it's kind of our job to get us in the right checks and the right calls. And so working that off season, it's been huge for me. Just spending time in the film room when I can, out of class, other stuff like that. But yeah, I think the biggest thing, I've jumped from last season to this season is for sure just gaining knowledge of IDing defenses and stuff like that.
Who's helped you with that?
Coach Bryant has for sure, Coach Kitley 100%, and Tyler too. Tyler's seen a lot of ball. Coach Kitley's for sure seen a lot of ball, especially in this offense. And so, just picking their brain as much as I can, because it's going to make me better for the future.
Behren, going back to the Oklahoma State game last year, what exactly did they do to your ankle, and how bad did it feel in a moment, and I guess subsequent, and what was those weeks afterward like? How much, I guess, if you're getting treatment every day?
Yes, sir. Yeah, it was just kind of a day-by-day deal when it first happened in Stillwater. I had a lot of adrenaline running. Just tape it up and keep going. I wasn't going to stop right there. But coming back to Lubbock, it's just day-by-day treatment, doing a lot of that, spending hours and hours and hours up here just trying to get it right. It was an ongoing situation all the way throughout until January probably, and so it was just kind of a day-by-day thing. Still to this day, I go in there twice, 3 times a week, still do rehab just to make sure it's strong and healthy for whenever the opportunity comes for me to play.
What was the diagnosis?
It's just a high sprained ankle on both.
And was it, how did it affect you mentally, considering especially that you came out like gangbusters in that game, the first half that you had? Have you ever had any significant injury back at Eastland?
Yes, sir. I had a high ankle sprain also my sophomore year too in the playoffs, and so I kind of dealt with that pain before, and so it's kind of the same deal, but at the same time that pace is a lot higher than a 3A football game. So trying to keep up with that pace, but now I'm good and healthy, and I feel a lot better than I did back in Stillwater for sure.
It's very different injuries, but a guy like Tyler, who's gone through his own adversity with injuries, was it nice to have a guy there maybe to help pull you out mentally?
Oh yeah, no doubt, especially when it was ongoing week to week. It was Tyler's just always like, man, I've been in your shoes, like, hey, just like kind of knock that knowledge out and just do what you do. And he's been a great role model even for that kind of stuff, reasons too, not just when we're sitting in the meeting room or we're out here, even live stuff too, kind of like that kind of stuff I really appreciate.
And I know that your dad's been in the news, just I guess retiring. And could you speak to that? Everything you learned from him, like the success he's had, like at Monterey, Midland Lee, Eastland, just in this area.
Yeah, it's awesome. We had a lot of coaches come out last weekend, and I think Coach McGuire said we had over 200 coaches here, so that's awesome. And I had probably over 50 coaches come up to me and just speak to me how highly they respected my dad. And, that speaks volumes just for me, too. Being in a bigger role here at Tech, I feel like it's my job to, carry on his legacy that he left at Monterey and Lee and Eastland and stuff like that. So, it's been really cool to see all the success he's had, 35 years in the business, and been pretty successful at it. So, just can't thank him enough.
What does it say to you that whether you're the starter or you're the backup, that Coach has enough confidence to give you the keys and say, here you go, And what does that say in a world where the transfer portal is, you don't get time, you're going to hit the portal. What does that say about the dedication you have to being a Red Raider?
Yeah, I just growing up in Lubbock, this is home for me, and that's pretty much enough said. I'm a Lubbock boy. And I watched Graham Harrell, Micah Crabtree throw those touchdowns and all that, and so just to be here in this opportunity to have the kind of leadership I have on this team, I wouldn't trade it for the world.
Behren, given that you went into last spring game kind of in the middle of the QB competition, what are you trying to show this spring game, and I guess how are you approaching the opportunity on Saturday?
Yeah, I think this Saturday is going to be pretty fun for us just because we've had a year of experience under our belt for the whole team. Coming back after this offseason, gaining weight, a lot of dudes getting a lot bigger and faster and stronger. So, Saturday at Lowry is going to be pretty fun for all of us to go out there and just to have fun. It's been a really good spring. It's been a quick spring. But at the end of the day, we're just going to go out there and execute.
Or what have you seen from your wide receiver group, especially Trent Craig and after that group, and just everybody, what's their development been like?
Yeah, it's been great. It's been great. We've had, Drake come in. He's a big part of our receiving corps. Deron Bradley, J.J. Spartman, Miles Price, and the list goes on. Even we've had some guys banged up, had some guys sick throughout camp, and like Drew Holcutt and Hayden Winnington, they've stepped up in the slot and they played really good for us in the slot. So that's encouraging that just our 1s, 2s, and 3s are all doing really well, and just speaks really highly on Coach Juice too. He's got them right for sure.
What does it say
about one or two more?
What does it say about your offensive line and how you're not running around?
Yeah, Coach Hamby, he has his day ones in here. Rusty has been great for us. He's been in this offense for a long time, and so him coming in here, I was kind of expecting him to have a little bit of rust, and he came in here with that middle bar face mask, and he was ready to go. So I'm really excited for Rusty, and getting Cole back too has been huge. Dennis playing guard at a good position where he belongs, and so it's been a great spring with that up front.
All right, thanks, Behren.